Fourth place having to be dug up at the 600-metre mark to work into the bridle and being trailed by Ellie Kazuma. On the inside, small amount of merit looking to push into the clear. Then came Royal Missile as they come around the bend. Jewel the Champ has dropped back, followed by Elegant Blast and Nice Go, Quest of Venus. And Just Like Fire down on the fence last of all. In the straight at the 350 and Samovar and I Am Boudicca go up and they head off Kai Perinya. 2 lengths away, Ellie Kazuma. At the 200, Samovar stormed to the front though. It's Samovar booting 2 clear. Here's Ellie Kazuma. She's starting to storm down the outside. He draws the whip on Samovar. She's responding and it's Samovar. Samovar home in the champion fillies from Ellie Kazuma. It's a photo for third. Nice Go, the fast finishing Just Like Fire, and Kai Perinya with the stablemate deeper out. Then Royal Missile. A gap small amount of merit. Elegant Blast. Chill the Champ has finished back in the field. Then Quest of Venus, Nice Go, and dropping out last is Jennabelle. Well, it was the brothers Parnham that have quinelled the champion fillies, but the filly by Savabeel in the Amelia Park colours, who was given a gifted run by Brad Parnham, has held the favourite Ellie Kazuma, Stephen Parnham, in 135.76 the champion fillies. Samovar will pay $6.92, $2.10. Ellie Kazuma $1.50. It was daylight back to third between I Am Boudicca, Just Like Fire primarily, and then the stablemates Kai Perinya and Royal Missile. Waiting for the minor details, but there's no doubt about the winner, this filly by Savabeel from the more than ready mare Sambar for Peter Walsh and Brian Bradley, bred by them at Amelia Park, racing and breeding. A great coup here, a triumph for the team at Amelia Park. And trained by Danny Morton, ridden by Brad Parnham. Number 4, Ellie Kazuma second. The Testarossa filly from Ellie Corsam. Verona Santo Waliardo, trained by Neville Parnham, ridden by Stephen Parnham. And 2 I Am Boudicca, the War Chant Queen's Gem filly for Tony Patrizzi and Ron Sayers third for Vernon Brockman and Paul Harvey. Fantastic victory here by Samovar. She's a class act, and she has produced an outstanding performance this afternoon after getting a great run throughout. And Lucy Warwick is over here with winning rider Brad Parnham as they head back together after this victory in the champion fillies. Luce?
Wow, what an amazing run, Brad.
Yeah, I was very pleased with the horse. I thought my only chance to sort of beat my dad's horse was to put my horse into the race early and really give his horse something to chase. And you know, it was probably a little bit of a risk doing that, but it paid off in the end.
You chose the right rein. She looked last start as if she wanted a little bit further. The distance obviously suited.
Oh, for sure. I got this horse down as an Oaks horse. It's a real big, nice type of horse, but I can just see it growing into an even better horse next prep.
Awesome. I wish you all the luck. Congratulations, Brad.
Yeah, thanks, Lacey.
Down now here with winning trainer Dan Morton, of course, the trainer of Samovar. Dan, let's just go through the race firstly from the start. Barrier 10, always tricky. You went aggressively forward today. Was that discussed prior to the race?
We discussed a fair few things. You know, at the end of the day, I said to Brad, you know, you're drawing an awkward gate. Just come out normal and weigh up your options. We had an inkling that Paul might go forward on I Am Boudicca, and it just worked out beautifully. He said if he does, he'll make us, you know, we'll make him work to get around us and track him up. And I said, you know, don't die wondering coming to the corner. You know, she'll run a mile out and make him chase you.
He dug her up early on, was digging her up around the bend as well to find the bridle. Were you concerned at all in that, at any stages, or you just knew that she'd pick it up and then we'd see her turn it on?
Oh, she's a classic filly. You know, I wasn't joking when I said I've never actually put a saddle on a nicer filly. She's a classic filly, and yeah, not really at any stage. Once she lobbed into the spot she was, I thought she's going to take a lot of beating.
We mentioned it in the yard as well. The way you've presented her, mate, it was an absolutely tip-top condition, stood out by a mile. You must be really proud of your team at home.
Oh, absolutely. Credit to all the staff. You know, they do a massive job this time of year. I'm not the easiest boss to get along with, but you know, I make sure everything's dotted and crossed, and they're doing a great job.
I know that Walsh is not here at the moment, so discussions will take place. Do you go to the Guineas, or do you skip now and go to the Group 1 Kingston Town, as we've seen happen last year with a horse like Perfect Reflection?
Oh, we'll have a discussion. Mr. Bradley's here and Walsh is at the farm. We'll discuss that over a few red wines tomorrow, no doubt.
Well done, mate. It's a good discussion to be involved in.
Thank you.
There's Dan Morton, trainer of Samovar, which has taken out the Group 3 WA Champion Filly Stakes over the 1,600 metres.
2.5, 135.82. A great triumph today for Amelia Park Racing and Breeding with this Group 3 victory. A filly that they've bred, of course, to the top sire Savabeel, and she is a most imposing type of filly with so much more to come as Brad Parnham comes back in the distinctive Amelia Park silks, the whole bottle green, red and white, after her victory this afternoon. Significant Group 3 success. 135.82, a 35 even final 600. 7.42, just like Fire at big odds, ran fourth in front of Caipirinha and Royal Missile. 7.42 and 10. Winning rider Brad Parnham in great form in the last few weeks, weighs in. Adam McGrath's with him after the victory.
Certainly has been in great form, and Brad, we talked about the reward last week with Saul Special. Now to take out the Group 3 Champion Filly Stakes on such a good horse for such good owners as well, it must mean a lot to you. Yeah, it does. It means more than probably I could tell you, really. I've run second in the race 3 times, so it's always been a race I've wanted to win because of that. And yeah, to do it for great owners and Danny, who's been good to me lately. So I'm just very, very proud to win the race. Tell us how keen you were to not only get this horse, but then stay on board as well going into this race from the performance last start. Yeah, I'd been saying it ever since I rode it last start that I was real keen to keep the ride, and you know, I gave it a big shot. I thought that it was going to be very hard to beat Ella Kazoom, but you know, I had to take the punt today and take off a little bit earlier just because I thought it would outsprint me, but you know, it was a bit of a punt, but it worked out in the end. You mentioned the relationship you built up with Dan in recent times, and a lot of that's been with Halliwell Stud as well, but you clearly have a lot of confidence in him. He mentioned that he told you that you could be aggressive and that you knew you'd run out that 1,600 metres strongly, and you've obviously backed in what he said, knowing that he's got the horse right to be able to do that and been able to take that punt today for it to pay off. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Danny's a very good trainer. He's trained a lot of good horses, and he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about, and He gives good instructions as well. Like he didn't tie me down to anything. He said to me just to weigh it up as I saw it out the gates. But yeah, he definitely said if the opportunity presents to go forward, and I think that's the best thing to do. He had full confidence in me to do that. So when a trainer gives you instructions like that, it really gives you a lot of confidence to do your own thing. And yeah, and obviously I had a lot of confidence in the horse too. Perfect Reflection won the race last year. We've seen what that horse has gone on to do. How excited are you, and how excited should we all be? Oh, I think she's a really good horse. But you know, it sounds a bit silly because she's just won this race, but the horse is definitely a prep away from being at its best, maybe even 2 preps away. Scary signs, and congratulations, Brad. Thank you very much. There's Brad Parnham, winning jockey aboard of Samovar, which has taken out the Group 3 WA Champion Filly Stakes for trainer Dan Morton over the 1,600 metres here at Ascot.